live. Hello. Hello, good people. It is 8 o'clock on December the 17th. Hi, guys. Yes, we are in the virtual bar. And true to form, I'm drinking tea. But if we were all together, I might have a sneaky glass of red wine. Glenn Kochi. Glenn, how are you? Everyone who knows Glenn is a dear friend and also the most incredible drummer. You will know him from his amazing band Wilco. And he played on my last record and he's an old friend. How are you, Glenn? Hope you're all doing well, all the family. We are many, many miles away from one another, sending you love. And somehow we miss you. Hey, brother. It feels like yesterday we were all on summer holiday up in Maine, but that was a year and a half ago. Hi, everybody. This is so nice. We're in our virtual bar. Can we imagine it's like, do you know one of those cozy London pubs where there's lots of red and there's lots of brass and there's usually there's a brass thing at the bottom of the bar that you can rest your feet on. For those of you who don't know, it's a very British thing. And we're all congregating. It's a Thursday night. The shops are still open. Bit of last minute Christmas shopping. But we're all joining together. Hi from Iran. Hey, Afan, it's great. And we're all here together. Well, I'm going to be quicker tonight because 2 weeks ago with Nadine was incredible, but it was an hour and a half. I couldn't believe it. I loved talking to Nadine and connecting with her. She's an amazing force, musician, soul. And I haven't got any guests tonight. I'm going to bring one of you in a sec. I'm just going to... Hi from New Jersey, Atlanta. Everybody's coming. This is so nice. Love from India. Love from Poland. India followed by Poland. Louisville, Kentucky. That's another... I know we've got a Leon and the guys from Producing Kind of Generation. They're in tonight. They're from Louisville, New York, Greece, Rio de Janeiro. My heart is still in... honestly, a piece of our heart is definitely still in Brazil. Mexico, Los Angeles, Argentina, Italia. All right. Southampton, come on. Croatia. Chile. We've got a lot of people. Wow. How have you all been? How's it been going? I've got to be honest with you. I've not been in a good place. I went to a really dark place, which is kind of unusual for me in the last few years. But yeah, I went to a dark place and brought up a lot of an old dark energy, and it was quite hard, like all these things are, because on the one hand you're going like, okay, I've got nothing and I don't have anything to complain about or anything I have nothing in my life that should make me feel shit, but I felt like I didn't want to communicate with anyone. I'm like a bear who wants to go into his cave. I'm not nice around in the family. So the reason I say this is because, again, it's not for sympathy. It's just communicating. We're human beings, right, living on this planet. And we all have these experiences. And I think the more that we are open about these experiences, we don't have to go into enormous amounts of depth about it if we don't want to. But the more we're open about it, the more we realize we're not alone. And what I do in these situations is I've learned I step fully into it and kind of immerse myself in it, and I do the work. And the work is, what is this? How do I want to be better? And it's like, where does this come from? And that can be quite tough, because like a lot of us guys, we know it goes back to our childhoods and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure a lot of you are also feeling it. So maybe by me saying I'm feeling it too, you can relate to that. You're not alone. We're not alone. At the moment, we're all kind of quite isolated in our own bubbles, but we are not alone in our experiences. So, yeah, that's what I thought I'd mention it. Christmas plans are changing. We were going to have a small Christmas get together. Normally we have, I'm in Wales, normally we have about 12 of us. And then it's because of the virus, it was just going to be my mum and her partner who were going to come over, so there'd be 6 of us. And now they can't do it, so it's just going to be the 4 of us. Because the virus, I don't know about wherever you are, guys, but the virus is on the rise in the UK. And they found another strain, and, well, we'll just all deal with it, right? You know? So, all right, I'm going to call somebody in. But I want to thank you. I'm going to call somebody in because it's much more interesting than me banging on to you about me and us. Okay, who have we got? Okay. Well, I got to ask this guy. Where was he gone? See you all. Okay. All right. Okay, Skeletobes. He was the guy that I couldn't get through to last time. And we met Brian in Houston, and we had an amazing connection, I think. So I saw Skeletobes' name up here. I think he was, here he is. Let's get Toby in. Eventually, Toby, come on. Skeletobes. Where's Skeletobes?
Hello, how are you?
Toby, finally we get to meet.
Lovely to finally meet you. Sorry about the delay.
It's only been, what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Quite a while.
Where are you? Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Brighton at the moment.
How's Brighton?
It's a bit mental, to be honest. I think people's brains seem to have dropped out of their behinds at the moment.
In what way? What are they doing?
You step out in public and you would have no idea what the state of the world is right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty jarring experience. But luckily, I haven't left the house in ages. So
wow.
Is
that just the people are just congregating as normal? And
it's a weird one because obviously you don't want to jump to conclude. You know, you don't know what people's situations are when you see them and stuff. But I mean, the general sentiment seems like people not being considerate. You know, I've walked down the street maybe a month or so ago, just before lockdown. I was going to the shops and I was wearing my mask, clearly kind of, you know, avoiding being in the way. And you get just rows of people kind of coming at you. It's like Space Invaders or something. They're like just coming towards you, and you have to kind of swerve out the way. And it's like, well, could you not just not walk like that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sound horribly judgmental, but
no, but it's weird. Kind of all these kind of normal things that we don't notice in normal life suddenly become apparent like that. I mean, I've never had that problem because I'm always about a foot taller than everyone else, so everyone's always at my shoulder height. So
I don't have that advantage. I'm only round about. I say I'm 6 foot, but I'm actually 5'11".
You're perfect height. You don't want to. You don't want to be 6'5". So what are you doing? What do you do in Brighton? Are you a student?
Well, so I graduated this year, which was a bit funny, obviously, given the
from Sussex.
My degree's accredited by Sussex, but I went to BIM. I think you did a talk.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I got a degree in songwriting, and yeah. So at the moment, I found a job despite the mayhem that is the job market right now.
Yeah.
So I'm doing closed captioning for people who are hard of hearing, things like that. So when they have lectures, I transcribe it and send it on to them. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I've got, you know, music on the way, things like that, going to the studio in January. So fingers crossed.
Have you? Great.
Yeah.
And is that? I mean, you studied music, so your heart is set on doing music, right?
I mean, it's been set. So I have I think, so I'm trying to find the right word, termulus
I don't
experience
even
with
know what that means.
education. Shaky, let's say.
Turbulent.
Yeah, turbulent. Sorry, yeah.
Turbulent. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Up and down.
I
Not
mean,
entirely smooth.
yeah, definitely an apt description.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got kicked out of what is high school because I was just an anxious mess, basically.
Why did they kick you out for being an anxious mess?
Well, I didn't show up. I just couldn't
Ah.
bring myself to. I mean, it's fair enough. I'm not
Oh,
blaming them.
okay.
Right?
I thought they were heartless swines who were kicking you out of school because you were slightly sensitive and not. Okay, so you just didn't turn up.
Yeah, basically.
Wow. What did you do? So how did that work? So if you didn't turn up, did your parents know you weren't turning up?
I mean, they did and they didn't. They knew once I had a meeting with the deputy head that I wasn't turning up anymore. But until that point, I think they just thought it was kind of business as usual. Yeah, and then I just thought, so I was in a band playing bass guitar. We kind of toured the country. We did all that. Yeah. And then I just decided, I'd been writing songs since I was like 14, 15. And I just thought, man, if I could do this, if I could pursue this in a kind of academic realm, get some kind of qualification, just because, anything's better than nothing, really.
Yeah.
And so I applied for a degree course, somehow got onto it. I'm still not sure quite how that happened. But yeah.
Listen, what I always say is that you've got to do when you've got. I think in life you like the what if scenario. You can't go in life going, what if I'd done that? You have to do it, and you
Absolutely.
never know. You never know what will happen. And with music. Listen, I've got obviously me and the rest of the band. We were very, we weren't great when we started. We got a lot better. But we were also very lucky and timing, and it worked for us. But I've also got lots of friends who it didn't work for. But that it's not, what I would say is it's not about, a lot of people think it's about, and I did at the beginning, it's about, you make music and it's also about the success, and that's what matters. And success is, how many people you play to, or, the amount of records you sold, or the art that you're making. That's not the point. The point is the journey, and
Absolutely.
everybody's journey is different. And it could be that you carry on with this with your job at the moment, and something else opens up, and and then for 10 years or so, 15 years of doing this, and you're keeping music's a hobby, and then suddenly you make a record that hits the right moment, and everybody wants to hear. So, you probably know this, and you probably were taught this at BIM. You just follow your heart and dream. Dreaming's good. Dreaming it up is really helpful. But just do it. Just do it. And
well, that's it. I think there's so much time. If I think back, obviously I'm not, shall we say, of an advanced age. I'm only 23, only just graduated, but I think
you're definitely not of an advanced stage.
That wasn't an allusion to anything. But
I could be your dad,
All of the.
I'm old enough to be your dad. Fucking hell. That's weird.
Don't think about things like that.
No, I won't.
It's irrelevant. Right. You're not my dad. It's fine.
I know. I'm not your dad, Toby. You went to school. Your attendance wasn't how I expected it to be.
I'm getting flashbacks.
All right, sorry. Man. No, I'd have been a sympathetic dad. I'd been like, the schools let you down, man.
Well, the thing is school definitely didn't let me down because I understand that it's as much a numbers game for them as it is for any business or anything like that. That it's really tough draw.
It's really
to run to run a school and whatever.
And I think I agree with you totally. And I think the whole system is fucked. I really do. I think the whole thing is it's antiquated. It's out of date. The whole education system that we've got at the moment, serves very, very few people. It serves the people who are academically, who are able to take in information. Doesn't mean they can be, doesn't mean they're academic. They are academically bright, but there are plenty of academically bright and bright people who don't succeed at school. And it's like this, it's like something from the Victorian age. It's these children are cooped up from 9, they have a break, couple of breaks until 3:34. It's completely wrong. It's completely
But
wrong.
I think I think in a way it's kind of comparable to, you know, kind of almost a naive attitude towards the music industry in a way. Like, it's very much a numbers game. You're looking at metrics, but you're not actually looking at where you're succeeding. You know, you're thinking, oh, I didn't get, oh, I got a B there, I could have got an A. Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
got
it's
100 listens there, I could have got that. But you're not actually thinking, I made something that I'm proud of, or
yeah,
I
and
did something that I'm proud of, you know.
there are loads of people around us here in Wales that homeschool, and we thought about homeschooling with our kids, but we very quickly realised that our kids would get very bored with us, and all hell would break loose. They needed to, you know. But a lot of people around us here in Wales, because it's in the hills and stuff, they homeschool their kids. And I was talking to one guy whose daughter is, she's now, I think she's at the Royal Academy of Music. Very talented. And I remember about 6 years ago, he was saying like, and he said, what we do is, he said, I got it down. So she was like, she's like 14 years old and she's into making films. So she'd go around with this iPad and she made this documentary. And she had a sister, her younger sister's got Down syndrome. So she made this documentary about Down syndrome, you know, filmed it, edited it, did it, entered into film competitions and won. And he said what it taught her, it was a project. It taught her how to do start, finish, do stuff. And I said, well, what about happens when exams and stuff? He said, a year before GCSEs, I know we have to get English and maths. So we just do that, we blitz it for the English. And he said, with the maths, all the maths they've learned is applied. I mean, and it's extraordinary. And I'm saying, listen, I mean, I couldn't do that. I could not, I tried teaching Sal maths, and we were living in Brazil. I tried teaching Sal maths for 6 months, and it was like World War III, because I wasn't a very good teacher, and I would get frustrated. You know, it was like, it didn't. So I'm not saying homeschooling is, but what I am saying is, that I just don't think the way that, and I'm not blaming teachers, because I think there are some amazing teachers, and I just think the education system is so results orientated, like SATs and all this nonsense, and people, you know, at a very early age, if you're defined as not doing as well as the others academically, you carry that. You know, Malcolm Gladwell.
Exactly. That is an absolutely defining moment in your entire life. You know, to be told that you're the kid in the corner, or something, that's going to shape who you become. And I agree.
That kid in the corner could be the most enterprising, could build the best kind of, I don't know, best outdoor den that you've ever seen. You know, we all have a purpose in life, and the problem is our schooling puts us into, you know, it's like a factory.
Well,
but of course, we should be thankful.
There exist, you know, like it's maybe a bit of a kind of, I don't know what the right term is, like cliched example, but when I was in school, we had theology and ethics lessons, which was basically like glorified religious education and kind of morality lessons. And we were taught about Richard Branson and how, you know, he was dyslexic, severely dyslexic, and he was put in the remedial lessons, you know, at school.
Yeah.
And that quite easily could have shaped, you know, who he was or his potential as a human, when actually it was, once somebody realizes that they don't actually have to be kind of cast into these roles that they're pre-decided by the education system, that they become something bigger than them. You know, they become something larger than they could have ever been.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I mean, we could talk all day. I don't want to talk all day about the other side of it. As I was just saying it, we are very thankful. I mean, one of the big things about lockdown is that children being able to go to school, because like for them to be at home, a lot of kids, it's so hard. So, you know, anyway. So what are your plans for Christmas? What are you doing?
Well, so I'm going to visit my family. It's only going to be me, my dad, and my sister. So
Where do they live?
so they live in Windsor.
Oh, okay.
So very dull and grey, but at
Are
least
you
my
near the
family are there.
castle?
Yeah, very, very near the castle, about 10 minutes walk away. So
Have you been watching The Crown?
I haven't, you know, I've been meaning to, because I really like Olivia Colman as an
She's
actress.
great.
She's brilliant. But no, I haven't. My girlfriend's been telling me to watch it, but yeah, I haven't.
Has anyone out there been watching The Crown? It's like a phenomenon. It's like everybody's watching The
It's
Crown.
weird. Everybody's talking about it, isn't it? Because you'd never think that, oh, a show about, I don't know, political kind of discourse within the royal family. That sounds dry as old bread. Like,
Yeah.
but then it's just, yeah, I don't know. They just
We love The
obviously must be
Crown.
good actresses or actors
Yeah,
and
it's brilliant. All the
whatnot.
sets and everything, and it's great. It's a great thing. Toby, I'm gonna bring someone else in
Yeah,
because I want
cool.
to get a few. But thank you, and listen, thank you for being so magnanimous the other week. Did you see Brian from Houston who I
Yeah,
tried to connect with you and it didn't work, and then we connected with Brian, right? And it was so
yeah.
moving.
Well, I found that really quite tear-jerking, really, because you
Yeah,
know my experience is so, you know, I'm living in a bit of a bubble right now with COVID and all that.
yeah,
So it's really bizarre to hear it from someone who's got, you know, first-hand experiences really on the kind of almost the front line of dealing with it.
yeah.
So yeah, no, that was an absolute pleasure to watch you guys.
Yeah, and listen, man, I hope you have a lovely Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
And I hope 2021 is a really good year for you. You've got all your life ahead of you. Follow your heart. I can tell you're a great guy anyway. Follow your heart. No fear, right?
No fear, none at all. I'm
No
past
fear.
that stage. There's no point in
I'm
getting
not.
caught up on things. I
I'm
don't
not.
think
But
I am either. I'm putting on a
no,
brave
we both
face.
know we're not, but
Try.
we try and maintain that mantra. All right,
If it's
Toby.
sorry, Ed, if it's not out of place
Yeah.
as well, I would love if at one point you could check out some of the stuff I make in the new year. I would really, really love to hear
Yeah.
your
Yeah, let's do it.
ruminations on it.
We'll put it on my Instagram, put the link, and maybe a few of us can check it out if you
I
feel
will
good
do.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, bro.
Because
Cheers.
it's
Sorry, I
nice
hope
to
that
be able
wasn't
to.
cheeky. I feel
No, of
bad.
course not. No, of course not. Absolutely not. I'm always, like I said, somebody asked me, was it yesterday, said, oh, would you listen to some of my music? And what I always do is, I'm kind of usually, and they said, will you give me some advice? And I don't tend to give advice because I think all I ever say is like, what's your truth? Be true to yourself. And also the other thing, I think the very act of hearing other people listen to your music, you often very quickly realize what you need to do to improve that music. So for a band, for
Absolutely.
instance, like with Radiohead, one of the things that always used to, so we did it with on the Bends and OK Computer and on in Rainbows. With those three albums, we toured and we played a lot of material in live, and that thing of, and it's the same thing of just other people hearing it, you get a much better sense of the work you need to do. So yeah, I'd be very happy. I won't say, right, listen, you need another chorus or verse.
No, no, I'm not
That's your
expecting
deal. But
like a
yeah,
checklist.
yeah, I'd love to. All right, man.
Real cool. Have a
All
lovely
right, Toby.
Christmas. Cheers.
Have a
Great
great
to speak to you.
Christmas. Lots of love, man.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, that one go. Toby's gone. Remove. I'm going to bring somebody else in. That's nice. Anybody else want to join? Anybody else feel like it? Say hi, little Christmas. Okay, view request. Let's have somebody from, no, hang on a sec. Let's have a look. See you all. Okay. Let's have, we've got some, anybody. Okay. We've had a male. I think we need some female energy. It would be nice to. Okay, that's that. All right. How about Lauren? I spoke to you, didn't I, a few weeks ago? And okay, how about honeybees? Honeybee 1024. Sending a request. Identity as a female picker. I didn't know that. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Honeybee, what's your real name, Honeybee?
Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to adjust my camera.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Massachusetts,
Whereabouts in Massachusetts?
near Boston.
Near Boston.
Yeah, I live like half hour from Boston.
South, north, west?
North.
North.
Yeah.
So what's
Thank
it called?
you. Just like half hour away from the city. I'm trying to be discreet because somebody has been kind of sort of like catfishing me online recently, but so I'm trying to like not give away too much personal information.
Okay, so you're living in 34 Mercer's Court. Oh, really? So what's catfishing? What's that? Is that like somebody trying to get in contact with you?
Yeah, somebody like contacts you and they like pretend to be somebody else and they try to like start like a chat with you. And yeah.
What's that about?
There's that show on TV. It's called it's on MTV. It's like called Catfishing or something like that. And like people have this experience where people like they hook up with somebody online and they pretend to be somebody else, and then they find out that that person, you know, they develop this online relationship and then it's not who they turned out to be and whatever.
Oh my God.
It's weird. It's weird. I don't know why people do that. But thank you. You're so brave to do this because I could be a crazy person for all you know. You never know.
Well,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, I you know what, I really like it. I think it's one of the wonders of this technology. If you you know, I remember in the early days of the band when we used to, so 1992, when we only played in the UK and we did probably about 120 shows, the length and breadth, we played everywhere in Britain.
Yeah.
And what we used to do, and we opened up for bands, and what we used to do after we'd gone off stage, we all packed our gear up, we loaded our van, and then we'd go out into the audience before the other band came on, and we'd just start talking to people and like making connections like we are now. And it was such a brilliant moment. And we made, you know, it's funny, we made just a lot of connections with people, and people would come back, and of course over the years those connections get lost a bit. But we've got this amazing technology, so it feels really, it's fun for me because it's like I get to meet you, Melissa, in Massachusetts, and you know,
fun for me.
And there's
fun for me too.
There's Toby in Southampton, and you know, I feel like over this, and I can say this to everyone out there as well, like for me, like a year ago, I knew nothing about social media. I was kind of, you know what I mean? I knew I didn't want to do Twitter because Twitter seems to be just a lot of angry men being nasty to another.
Right. I'm not on Twitter either.
No, but Instagram seemed, I kind of liked the idea of it because it felt like it was gentler. You could make connections. And it was only, I started doing this in about June when we were all in lockdown.
Yeah. I've been on Instagram for like, I've only been active on it for like less than a year. So I'm kind of still like learning how to do it and not very savvy with it, but
no, neither am I.
I'm trying.
No, but I like this. I like this thing. I think it's good. And I feel like we've got a nice Thursday night feels like there's a nice little community. And
definitely. Yeah. I look forward to this so much. I know a lot of people do. I really do, because I work in healthcare and I've been having so much stress lately at work. And it's like, this is just something that I look forward to, and it kind of takes my mind off of things for a while, you know?
Do you feel, would you feel comfortable talking about that? Is that something?
Oh,
yeah. So what's your role?
I work for the visiting nurses, and I'm not a nurse. I'm a physical therapist.
Yeah.
So I go and I see people at home, and we've just been really, it's like I see more and more sick people coming home, you know, COVID patients, you know, so we're getting a lot of referrals to see these sick patients now, like even more now than back at the beginning of quarantine. Like there are a lot more sick people now than there was even back like in March when this all started. So I'm seeing a lot of sick patients, working with them. It's hard with all the equipment. Like when I'm all geared up,
Yeah.
you know, the mask, it's hard to breathe. My glasses fog up. I can't see anything. And then we're just really busy also with, like, back in March when the quarantine started, all the elective surgeries were postponed, like people that needed orthopedic surgery, like hip replacements, knee replacements and stuff. They weren't not doing surgeries unless it was an emergent procedure. So now they're like catching up on all these surgical procedures. So I'm just seeing all these surgical patients right now. So I'm just busy, but it's just stressful. It's just, you know, taking all the precautions and, you know, sometimes you're all geared up and then you go in and you see a patient that you know was COVID positive and you're still saying to yourself, you know, am I dressed appropriate? You know, is this going to protect me? Am I going to be okay? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of.
It's so, I mean, you must be exhausted right now.
Yeah. And I feel like it's just, I just realized today that Christmas is next week. I thought it was the week after. Like, I'm just not ready for it.
Yeah.
I don't have any shopping done. And it just doesn't feel like it, you know, like all the stuff that I would normally be doing, like all the activities that come before Christmas are not happening this year. So it doesn't feel like it to me, you know, so.
You know, I come from a family, all my family, I mean, everybody in my family is going back to my great grandparents and are basically, well, aside of them, but everybody's medics. They're osteopaths, they're doctors, they're dentists. You know, my great grandparents were osteopaths in America. And the thing that is really interesting, and my sister's an osteopath, and my parents were osteopaths, and my grandparents were osteopaths, and my grandfather was a GP, my grandmother was a nurse. The thing that strikes me about the healthcare profession is, and I can be quite objective about it, is one thing that they don't teach you that I think is really important is how to look after yourself. Mm-hmm. So my dad and my mum, my dad would, you've got a lovely dog.
Quiet. She's very loud.
What is she?
Quiet. She hears something, so she's barking.
Can we see her? Would you?
Oh,
can we,
okay. Let's see. Come over here. Come here. Come. Up. Okay, there she is.
Oh, you are gorgeous. She's like Ziggy.
Yeah, she's like a medium-sized black and white dog. Yeah. Come over here.
Okay.
Come.
All right. I'm going to give this. Can you see Ziggy? There, can you see Ziggy?
Yeah.
That's my black and white dog.
Yeah,
she's a collie, right?
No. She looks like a border collie, but she's Australian Shepherd.
Hang on a sec. If I get Ziggy up, well, let's do it. I'll show me yours.
Come back.
Let's
here.
have two collies, two black and white dogs.
Come.
Here we go.
Come up. Okay.
Oh,
up.
look,
Come.
Ziggy.
Come.
Ziggy, look.
She's not cooperating.
She's not playing.
Come. Mommy said come. Up.
Ziggy's a bit smelly.
Look.
What's her name?
Look. Bindi.
Hello, Bindi. Bindi meets Ziggy.
She's not cooperating. I think she wants to go out.
This is like some bad pet seminar or something.
I know, right? She doesn't listen very well. She wants to go outside because it snowed, and she likes to eat the snow. She goes out and eats the snow, and then she barks and wants to come right back in.
Ziggy's exactly the same, wants to roll in it, bites it.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is one thing so my father used to see back in the day, in the sort of the 80s and 90s, he'd see about 25 patients a day. And it was too much. And I think that thing that they don't teach you properly, and I don't know, maybe they do, but the effect that someone like yourself has, paying these house visits, the empathy that you have to give, the work that you have to do, also the energy of patients. When you're dealing with people who are ill, it's not easy, right? Because
no, it's not.
Because you're not seeing often people in their best light as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be very tricky when I'm ill as well.
Middle-aged men are usually the worst.
Funny that.
I had one recently. He just had his knee replaced and it wasn't doing very well. And he looked at me like, I said, okay, we're going to do some exercises. He looked at me as if I told him I was going to murder him. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just exercise. But
men like in terms of tolerance, pain thresholds are not very good, right? No,
and like with surgeries, they're not very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I I can't blame them, I guess. I don't know.
No, but I mean, maybe they should take
They
note from the from our better halves, from females. From the,
usually are running around catering to them, like getting them drinks, propping up propping them up with a pillow.
yeah,
They're running around catering to them while they're like at home,
yeah,
convalescing.
with the man flu.
Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah.
what? Yeah,
So what
but
are your are you what? So over here, like for Christmas, we have had to downscale massively.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's all very confusing because what we've got in our country is we have been told that there's this window from the 23rd to the 27th where 3 households can get together. However, or can get together. However, they recommend that nobody gets together. They're not making it law. So what the government are they're leaving it for the individual. They're not making the hard decisions. They're saying,
yeah.
this is the law, but we advise you not to do this. I had my mum is late 70s, and she was going to come with her partner. And now she's not going to come anymore. We made the call because there's a lot of the viruses here in Wales at the moment, and my mum just, she's as she said, she's a bit wobbly at the moment. So, what's it like with you? I mean, what are your plans? Are you able to get together with anyone, or?
It's kind of the same thing here. Like I think they're saying gatherings of 10 people or less. Like that's what they said around Thanksgiving, and I think it's the same for now. So, like normally I'd be getting together with my brother-in-law and his family, and there's the 2 of them plus 4 kids. This year we're not doing that.
No.
My mother-in-law will probably come over on Christmas because she's alone. This is her first Christmas alone because her husband died this summer. We don't want her to be alone.
No.
So it'd be very small. Like there'd just be like about 4 of us here. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought like a year ago that where we'd be now? I mean, it's been an extraordinary year, hasn't it?
Yeah. And then you think back to like all the things that you would be doing that you can't do this year. I think we take things for granted so much, like all the things that we could do before. We used to do things and go places without even thinking about it. And now, we can't do those things. Hopefully one day, hopefully again sometime. But, this year is definitely different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a real believer, like in my own life, like when you've had challenging times, when you're in them, they're horrible, they're dreadful, and you think, I can't stand. But when you look back on them, the lessons, I always, in challenging moments, I try, and I don't always succeed, but one of the things in the last 20 odd years has been, how can I be a better person from this? It's almost like, it's like a test. And I just hope that this year, I mean, it's not me for everyone, but we'll have learnt, or woken up to a few things or realizations, and the things that we're thankful, the things we've taken for granted. Mm-hmm. And that maybe we'll look back on 2020 and go, you know what, at the time it was shit, but these are the things, and this precipitated a change. I mean, everybody's going, this has been a shit year, but for the planet, this has been a great year. If we're brutally honest, like in terms of less aircraft flying, I remember when lockdown happened, nature, suddenly the bird life, and everybody said this, the bird life went mad, and the birds were kind of going, thank God you've all stopped. We were waiting for this. So I'm kind of, obviously for human beings, this has been an incredibly challenging time. But if you look at it in the bigger picture, maybe the planet is going like, thank you, this is what needs to happen. We need some, anyway, I don't know, I'm just saying that I'm trying to kind of like, I don't know, I think in challenging times that there are times when you look back and you go, you know what, I'm glad we went through that. I know it was hard, and I know it was tough, and I know we lost people, but in the long run, maybe, I don't know. I like to believe an awakening is happening at the moment.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Too. I do. I mean, it's been a very difficult year, but I hope we learn from it and we become more appreciative when all of these you know, things come back, the things that we used to do, like going out to eat at a restaurant, going to the movies, you know.
Oh my God, those things we
all
take
of those,
for granted.
yeah, yeah.
And the communal experiences that we have, like all those things, being in a buzzy restaurant, or,
yeah,
you know, a movie that's sold out that everybody's excited to see and cheers. Yeah, we miss that.
yeah, I know. I was just thinking this morning, I'm like thinking back to like a year ago, like, okay, what would have been like a typical day for me? Like today, I'm off of work today, but like, so on a day off, what would I be doing? I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll, you know, go meet a friend for lunch. Maybe I'll go to the gym. Maybe that night I'll go see a movie. And it's like, now none of those things are a possibility, you know? So it's definitely hard, but
it's weird, because also part of my job, and I'm, you know, I'm okay because I'm you know, I'm not like crew or a young band or stuff like that, so I don't have the financial burdens and concerns. But like a big part of my job, I mean, music is playing to you guys.
yeah,
And
I know.
it's been quite weird, because like there's been a whole kind of, for me, like, I mean, I had the virus in March. So people have talked about this I don't know if you've come across it, the long tail of COVID. And I've been fatigued and tired for a long, long time. And I've got to be honest, I still feel it in my lungs. I go running every day and I'm still feeling it, but that's a whole other thing. But I think one of the big things is a massive hole in like, well, what's my purpose now? You know?
Well, you can still make music, but I could understand the fact that you want to bring it and show it, and right now you can't.
Yeah,
that way you can't.
Yeah, you can make music, and I agree, and that's really important. It's really a part of it, and that's kind of what I've been doing, trying to start doing. But a big part of that, like musicians, we're nothing unless we're connecting. You know, I always say this about a gig. A great gig is, it's not just about the band. People have come up to me or whatever after a gig and said, oh man, you guys were great. And then it's been an amazing night. And I said, I always do this. I said, no, you were great too. Because what happens is you get into this kind of energy exchange. And like the band might be there, that, you know, that's it's like striking of the match. But this energy happens. And everybody in that room has an important part to play in it. It's a collective energy. And so, you know, a big part of, if you think about, you know, half of my job is making sounds and making noises, if you want to, and making sounds that, you know, and sort of trying to share emotions and emotional thing. But the other side of it is we're in a room together. This is what we all do. And I think it's such a, we need that as well. I mean, I need to go and see bands live. I need to go and dance. I mean, I really missed dancing this year. And I'm not getting any younger.
Me neither.
I need to.
I know. I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? I'll keep doing that yoga, keep those hips oiled, just for the day that we can all dance together.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. But I had tickets to your show in Boston. It was supposed to be in June. And it's been rescheduled to next year. So I'm not going to say, I still have my ticket.
All right, Melissa.
I'm saving it.
All right. Well, I'll see you then, hopefully.
Yeah. I worry about the venues, like these small and medium-sized venues. I really worry, because if they can't bring people in, they can't bring in revenue. How are they going to stay in business? You know, and then where are the bands? Where are these small bands and performers going to play if these venues are not there? So it really worries me.
I don't know quite. I mean, they've done a bit of in Britain. I don't know what it's like in America. They probably, because you don't really have a kind of a tradition of the welfare state, but in Britain there's been a little bit of help for small venues. But I agree with you. I totally worry, that when we get after the virus, how much of culture that we take for granted, theatres as well. You know, how many of these, you know, we can always set up sound systems anywhere. We can set them up in a field and dance. But like venues and theatres and people behind the scenes. That's, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, they're struggling right now for sure.
Yeah. So what's your, what, do you work Christmas Eve, or what's your Christmas time? Have you got some time off?
I have, I usually work just part-time. I work 3 days a week. So next week I'm working the beginning of the week, and then I'm off. So I'm clear for Christmas
Correct.
Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So, yep. So I've got to finish doing, I haven't done any Christmas shopping. I have to do my Christmas shopping. So I need to get that stuff done and all of that. So.
All right. Well, Melissa, I hope you have thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you have a beautiful Christmas.
Thank you. You too. And thank you again for doing these, because like I said, these are just so, it's just so nice to be able to hear, talk with other people about, similar, everybody's kind of concerned about the same thing and sharing similar feelings. And it's just a lot of positivity. And I really appreciate it and I enjoy it. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And, it's like we're all just human beings on this planet doing the dance, right? And I think for me, certainly, it really helps me. I always kind of, I come away from this feeling like there's a genuineness and an authenticness about this little community, this tribe that we have here. Family. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you're right.
All right. Well, lots of love, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a beautiful Christmas, and I hope 2021 is a better year.
Yes, you too.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. And also, thank you for all the work you're doing. Incredible. On the front line.
Oh, yeah.
You're the real heroes.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was great. That was lovely. I'd seen Melissa on the Instagram chat, whatever you want to call it, the post. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to leave you. How are we doing for time? Oh, only 50 minutes. I'm sorry I've gone. If I go on too long, just say. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for this year. I feel like I've made some. I feel like I feel really connected in a way that I haven't done before to this, and this means so much to you, to me rather to you. This means so much to you, but not to me. No, this really means so much to me, and actually, it makes me feel better, like going out playing live. I was a little bit nervous, and I know that there are going to be some familiar faces out there, and we can celebrate together, hopefully, when the time is right. And thank you. I just hope you all have a peaceful, harmonious Christmas, and you're warm, and you have some nice food, and and it's some calm in the storm for all of you. All right, sending you lots of love, and we will get together in 2021, 2 weeks from now, or maybe New Year's Eve, no, maybe the day after or something. I'll let you know. But all right, look after yourselves, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. All right, lots of love. See you soon.